Flying is one of the safest forms of transportation, but there are new concerns at U.S. airports. Close calls and near misses involving passenger planes are on the rise in the States. In July, the Federal Aviation Administration recorded 46 concerning incidents where planes came within seconds of a potential disaster. 46. So joining us from Montreal this morning with more on why this is happening is lecturer at McGill University School of Aviation Management, John Graddick. Good to have you back.
Good morning, Anne-Marie.
So we started having this conversation because earlier this week, 2 Air Canada planes came into contact at Vancouver International Airport, ripping off parts of the wingtips on each aircraft. What kinds of concerning incidents have you noticed over the past few months?
Oh, it's been an abnormal number of events. Hitting aircraft on the ground is not a good thing, but that's outside of the control of the FAA. That's basically ground control and the airlines and the ground handlers not really having a great awareness of what's going on around them and function of training experience, not really sure exactly what happened. But what's more concerning to me is the FAA's report on near misses, and those are quite disconcerting when you see the number up there.
So what do you see as could be a possible cause because that report, the numbers are so high? What do you see as leading to that?
Well, there are 2 parties associated with that whole process. One is the air traffic controllers on ground control or on approach control, and the others are the pilots. And so those are the 2 parties that basically cause the interactions at the airports. And of all of the locations where you have the most risk when it comes to incidents is basically either on takeoff or on landing. Any pilot knows that those are very, very critical elements of the flight. So there's a lot of heightened awareness about what's going on around there. There seems to be, in the opinion of the FAA, some stress in terms of what's going on at the airports in terms of flight controllers. There are short flight controllers, as we know. Guys are working overtime, girls are working overtime. They're cutting vacations. They're double shifts. And so, the spatial awareness side of the air traffic control process is at risk when you have people who are tired, who are doing this work. And you have to make sure that everybody is hyper alert in terms of what's going on around them. And that's why the pilots are very, very, very aware of what's going on around them. They're very much a key safety valve in this whole process. So that's what we're seeing.
Well, because they are so key, what kinds of protections are in place to stop incidents like these from occurring?
Well, during flight, there's a lot of technology that's on board airplanes, basically called TCAS, collision awareness systems and collision avoidance systems. And when the airplane is on autopilot and the airplane notices that it's going to be in a collision or a near collision or near miss while flying, that technology will in fact divert the airplanes to prevent that incident. On approach or on takeoff, there's not much technology out there. The flight crew are basically controlling the aircraft, both on taxi as well as on takeoff and landing rolls. So there's very little technology that's out there other than what the air traffic controllers are telling them to do. So they're the controllers are the traffic cops, and they tell you where to go, and you've got to be making sure that you double check that process.
Yeah, well, given that we've seen such a rise in dangerous incidents, what measures would you like to see implemented to try and get a handle on this?
Oh, I think it boils down to staffing. It really does. It really looks at, how do you in fact create the shifts for these air traffic controllers? What type of work stress are you putting? Air traffic control is a stressful job no matter what, in good times. When you have shortages and you have the volume of passengers and the volume of airplanes that we're currently seeing in North American airports, it just raises a lot of concern about how much stress and how much spatial awareness that these controllers have, especially when they're working these long shifts. So staffing is the issue. Look out, understand that you may be overloading your airport in terms of aircraft movements. Airlines have a responsibility to make sure that that they don't overload the system.
Yeah.
So again, understand what the capabilities are of the network, of the controllers, and don't overload it by throwing too many airplanes into it.
Yeah, ending up in very dangerous situations. John Graddick, always good to have you. Thank you.
Pleasure, Anne-Marie. Have a good day.
You too.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.